shit, they done let me in the door. They done gave your boy a chance, now the youngin' finna blow. It's a shame finna put the game in the figure four. Youngin' fresh. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get into it, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, man. Fuck it, you ain't gotta like the video, you gotta comment, but I do appreciate it if you hit the sub button. Now in this video we talk about Attack on Titan, but particularly talk about chapter 133 and explaining what has happened to Kid Eren and Ymir inside the past. I ain't gonna lie, it took me like a minute to make this video, you know, or to just like gather my thoughts to just create this video in general. Because when I had read chapter 133 and I read that part when Kid Eren had showed up inside the paths and Ymir followed him and they both had their eyes blacked out. I think they still got their eyes. They just blacked out, you know? So when I seen them, I was like, man, what the fuck, Isayama? Like he totally mind fucked the shit out of me. Like I be thinking I be having Isayama, you know what I'm saying? I be knowing what the fuck he about to do next. Or like I just think I just got Isayama so figured out. And then the next chapter come out and this motherfucker throw me this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, at this point I'm fucking lost. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck is going on with Kid Eren at this point. Because how you go from, you know what I'm saying, chapter 131, you know what I'm saying, you got Kid Eren saying this is freedom. And now in chapter 133, now this motherfucker, his eyes is blacked out along with Ymir, who just got her eyes back. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what has happened in that time frame? So it took me a minute to actually gather my thoughts, because I don't want to just give y'all just any crazy ass story that doesn't make any sense. You know, like that's not the way how I make my video. Like all my theory videos damn near sound correct. You know what I'm saying? Just that Isayama with a whole totally different direction, you know? And he played all of us. You know what I'm saying? The genius he is. So how do Kid Eren go from saying this is freedom in chapter 131 to now, you know what I'm saying, chapter 133, his eyes been blacked out along with Ymir. So I want to say that Kid Eren and adult Eren are two totally different people, you know? Because like now, like it can be a possibility that he transferred his consciousness to his kid version self, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to really think that. I don't really want to go in that route. I want to believe that there are two different people, because if you look at their, you know what I'm saying, of both of the reactions of, you know what I'm saying, Kid Eren and adult Eren, when adult Eren seen the paths, he didn't really say too much. He was just very intrigued with it. He's like, damn, I finally made it. But you know what I'm saying, like his reaction was way different than when he seen the outside world, you know what I'm saying, the ocean or whatever. Like, when he seen the paths, he was like, man, like, this shit is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? So, when Kid Eren seen it, he had another totally different reaction. And he's like, oh, this is freedom. You know? And you could just tell that I was right when I had made that third video, that this is what Eren was trying to get to from the very jump. The fucking Titan paths. You know? Because when Kid Eren in chapter 131 was in the paths, he was in this dreamlike state, and he was like, you know what I'm saying, flying above the clouds, and then it cuts to him being in the paths, and then he sees Armin. So obviously Isayama is putting that in front of us like, hey, this is Eren's freedom, you know what I'm saying, him being inside the paths, this is what he wanted to get to from the very jump. And I'm glad that I was right about making that, you know what I'm saying, when I made that theory. Because even when in the manga, you know what I'm saying, when Armin is explaining the outside world to Kid Eren from the book, when Eren, you know what I'm saying, looks up after Armin explains what's outside, you know what I'm saying, what's on the outside, he can literally see the paths inside of Armin's eyes. You know what I'm saying? So when Armin, you know what I'm saying, over dramatically described the outside world, you know what I'm saying, Eren took that as literal, you know what I'm saying? So when he seen the outside world, he was like, man, this shit is not what the fuck I expected. You know what I'm saying? He even says that back in chapter 131 when he not 131, yeah, chapter 131 when he explains it to the kids, like, the outside world is not like how me and Armin, you know what I'm saying, imagined. I thought it was going to be way different, you know? And I'm pretty sure it's not because of the people that, you know what I'm saying, that hated them, because these motherfuckers just came back from man-eating titans. They just came back from a corrupted government. So seeing all this hate and shit like that against that race is not that big of a deal, you know what I'm saying, because they just, like, you motherfucker, you just survived a bunch of titans, you know what I'm saying, like, and you care about a lot of people hating you? No, that shit don't make sense. Obviously, this outside world is not what Eren imagined. He imagined the fucking paths. So when Kid Eren finally seen the paths, he was like, okay, this is freedom. This is freedom. This is what he thought, what was beyond the walls this whole time. Because if you look at Armin's reaction when he first went to the, you know what I'm saying, pointed to the past when Eren had told everybody his plan. You can tell he didn't know what the fuck this shit was. You know what I'm saying? He didn't react like how, you know what I'm saying, how Eren reacted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes so much sense. Armin didn't take the description of the outside world by the book as literal. He knew what the, you know what I'm saying, the imagery of how dramatic the, you know what I'm saying, the outside world was being described as in the book. But Eren, not knowing nothing, you know what I'm saying, he took that as literal. So now how do he end up like this? You know what I'm saying? How do you go from saying this is freedom to this? And my only guess is because this is another version of Eren and they're not the same people. I think Eren and Ymir is now slaves of the original, or the, you know what I'm saying, the adult Eren. That's what I think. It only makes sense, right? Because if you look at if you look at Ymir's backstory, you know what I'm saying, they both said that, hey, slaves doesn't need both of their eyes. Both of their eyes is blacked out. It makes totally sense. When we first seen Ymir, her eyes was blacked out, and we learned that she was a slave from the very jump. Now, Kid Eren eyes is blacked out, and his ass is a fucking slave. But just because they're a slave doesn't mean they do not have free will, because Eren gave them that free will. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be hella contradicting to give Ymir her freedom just to take it away, and then later on, not original Eren, but adult Eren sending his kid version of himself to the paths to give him his freedom. You know what I'm saying? That he never will get. You know what I'm saying? Because he never got that type of freedom at all, because when he saw the actual outside world, it wasn't like the past. So when he sent his kid version himself to the past and gave him his freedom, it would be hella contradicted to take his freedom away. So I do think that they become slaves to the original Eren, but they still have free will to do whatever they want. But they still have to follow Eren though at a certain point, because if you look at it, when I had made that video about who the shadowy figures was on the plane, on the left side of the plane, I thought that was Falco and Gabby. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought Falco and Gabby had snuck onto the plane, and I thought, like, okay, Annie let them go. Annie is just not going to let them go by themselves. So I was like, okay, Annie got ODM gear, so it makes sense that, you know what I'm saying, Annie had snuck on a plane with Gabby and Falco. But when chapter 133 came out, and I'm like, what the fuck? I see Gabby and Falco and Annie still on the boat. I'm like, I was like, okay, who is those shadowy figures that was back in chapter 132 that was on the left side of the wing of the plane when they first took off? And then it hit me, you know what I'm saying, when Levi had said, I wonder if Eren was listening when he had sent them to the past. Eren and Ymir had came through the tree, right? So I wanna say that Eren and Ymir, Kid Eren and Ymir was those shadowy figures, and they was watching this whole thing play out the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And when they was watching the plan from, you know what I'm saying, to try to find Eren, just like that, you know what I'm saying, when they was watching them inside the plane, that's when Kid Eren and that's when Ymir sent everybody to the paths so that adult Eren can fucking talk to them. Because obviously Kid Eren had his mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Ymir had her mouth shut. So it had to be adult Eren talking to these motherfuckers. Like, it makes sense, you know? So both Kid Eren and Ymir is following the original Eren, because even if, you know what I'm saying, like, Isayama foreshadowed this, and I made a video about this too, right, about Eren being controlled. And in that video, I basically said that, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Mikasa and Armin was saying, like, hey, Eren, you're being controlled. And then Eren looks at them like how, you know what I'm saying, he gives them this Eren Kruger type of look, and he's just like, I'm free. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit that I'm doing is out of my own free will. And I think, you know what I'm saying, Eren is being controlled, but he's controlling himself now, you know what I'm saying? So that would be crazy, like, yeah, he's not being, like, the original Eren is not being controlled, but Kid Eren is now being controlled by adult Eren now. Like, that's a big plot twist. That's crazy. So he is being controlled, but he's being controlled by his damn self, you know? That's crazy. And if he is a slave, he's a slave to freedom. You know what I'm saying? He's a slave to freedom. Like, it just makes sense, you know? Like, this shit, like, Isayama, you motherfucker. And just to give you guys even more proof that Ymir and Kid Eren has free will to basically do whatever the fuck they want, you know what I'm saying? But they still have to follow you know what I'm saying, the plan from the original Eren. So they can't really do too much, but they still have free will. These two motherfuckers are traveling from the paths to the world whenever they want. You know what I'm saying? Through via of the tree. And that's why Ymir showed up back in chapter 130, I believe, when the rumbling first started. You know what I'm saying? She was seen, you know what I'm saying, as soon as Eren killed that little boy. And when I had made a theory, I was like, okay, maybe she's controlling Eren Titan. Now that Eren is, you know what I'm saying, unconscious, maybe her spirit is controlling Eren, you know what I'm saying, Eren's Titan, because it didn't make sense. Like, okay, you're free now. Like, why are you still here? And not only here, why the fuck is you, you know what I'm saying, in the outside world now? So now we notice that, you know what I'm saying, she has free will to travel between the paths and the outside world now. And Kid Eren can do that too now, because they both was just two shadowy figures on the fucking plane watching Armin and Levi talk about how they trying to find Eren. And then Eren's like, man, bring these motherfuckers to the paths so I can tell them that, hey, ain't no talking. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to kill me. And and we kind of get some, you know what I'm saying, some light shined on that. The reason why Eren still needs Ymir, and the reason why he made Kid Eren follow him. I feel as though the original Eren, which is adult Eren, he needs Kid Eren and Ymir to make Titans still. You know what I'm saying? I think there's, you know what I'm saying, like Eren is now a slave to making Titans, and Ymir is still a slave to making Titans just for the time being, until everything ends. Because Eren basically said that he didn't want to take Armin or Reiner or Annie or any of the Titan shifters freedom from transforming or using their Titans. And the reason is because Eren needs the scouts to protect him. I said that in my previous video. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying, who's going to kill him first, the Alliance or the Scouts? At this point, it doesn't make sense for both of them to come at Eren. It does, you know what I'm saying, I don't want Isayama to go that way, and I hope he don't go that way. You know what I'm saying, and I think he won't go that way, you know? But basically, in that previous video I just put out not too, like literally yesterday, I said that, hey, Eren needs the Scouts to come protect him, because it just makes sense, you know what I'm saying? It's the reason why he still allowed them to use their powers. Like, because, like, Eren basically said that, hey, at any given time, I could have been stopped you guys from stopping me, but I still need you. Like, Eren is a god to them, you know? He's a god to all aliens at this point. He could have snapped his fingers and changed their whole body frame if he wanted to, and just, like, said, like, hey, now you can't stop, now you can't try to stop me. You can't get in the way of stopping me. You know what I'm saying? This shit will happen. But Eren blatantly made it clear, like, hey, I didn't want to do that. And the reason why he don't want to do that, in my previous video, I basically said that, hey, Eren needs the Scouts to protect them, because history repeats itself literally in the world of Attack on Titan. In the story of Attack on Titan, history has repeated itself countless of times. You know what I'm saying? So, and throughout the whole Attack on Titan series, all we've been seeing is Scouts dying, protecting Eren, or even, you know what I'm saying, just because of Eren, you know? And Levi reminisces about this not too long ago. He's like, man, all I did was, like, protect Eren, you know? And me always protecting this motherfucker has got my comrades killed, you know? We thought that Eren was the hope for humanity. But now, you know what I'm saying, now that we know all the secrets, really, we know everything now, you know what I'm saying, the people inside the walls, they thought they was the only people living. They thought they was the last of humanity, you know? So now they literally about to be the last of humanity. So that's just crazy how everything plays out. So history is going to repeat itself, and the Scouts is going to end up protecting Eren once again against the Alliance. It makes totally sense, because because like I said in my previous video, they don't know that the Alliance is on their way to blow up Eren. Because if they knew, you know what I'm saying, you gotta kind of read between the lines. Because if they knew, then Eren would have never been the enemy from the very jump. They would have just let Eren destroy the whole fucking world, and it would have been, you know what I'm saying, done. But since they didn't know the Alliance was coming, so when they finally see it, like, okay, this is what Eren is trying to do. Like, these motherfuckers was trying to bomb us from the very jump. Let's protect this motherfucker. Because when Mikasa sees this shit, they're like, oh shit, they blowing up Eren. She's going to jump in and want to protect him out of instinct and out of love for him. And then John is going to follow him. I mean, I say him. John's going to follow Mikasa, you know what I'm saying, because of his love for her. And then Armin, you know what I'm saying, Armin is going to follow suit. And then the only, like I said in my previous video, the only ones I don't know that's going to end up protecting Eren is Reiner, Peck, and, you know what I'm saying, and the others. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, I was trying to see why the fuck Peck was even on the plane. But now that I know, she's the most agile out of all of them at this very point. You know what I'm saying? She can jump from blimp to blimp, taking them out. And then you got Falco coming with his beast, you know what I'm saying, Jaws Titan that can fly. Why the fuck do you need a flying beast Titan at this point, man? Like, Isayama is setting this shit up. Falco is going to end up everybody's going to end up protecting Eren. You know? And they're going to all die protecting this motherfucker. Because history repeats itself countless of times inside the series of Attack on Titan. Isayama pissed this right in front of our face, man. Like, it's right there. Like, he just need to read between the lines and basically piece everything together. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm doing. You know? Like, Isayama, I figured you out, motherfucker. I figured you out. Like, this shit is crazy. And that's the reason why Eren cries. You know what I'm saying? Because Eren is going to be sitting there watching that shit. And so when he goes back to season 1 and he wakes up from that tree, he's going to be crying because of what the fuck he do to his friends. Like, he allows his friends to get killed. Like, oh, bro. Man, this is going to be crazy, bro. Oh, man. And then before Mikasa gets killed, you know what I'm saying, Kid Eren, because of his free will, he still got free will. Just because he's following Eren doesn't mean that he has, you know what I'm saying, doesn't have free will. Before Mikasa dies, Kid Eren is going to bring Mikasa to the fucking past and see, and they're going to finally talk. You know what I'm saying? And then when I feel as though when Kid Eren sees the what adult Eren is doing, I feel like he's going to snap out of this and he's going to get his eyes back and he's going to talk to Mikasa and they're going to say, see you later. And then Eren's going to get transported back to season 1, and then he's going to wake up crying because of what the fuck he do to Mikasa, but not only Mikasa, but all his friends, and got all of them killed because of them trying to protect him. But at the end of the day, it was all Eren's fault, you know, because of the shit that he's doing now. But it's, oh my God, Isayama, bro. Isayama's a cold motherfucker, man. That's the end of the video, man. If I don't end this shit, I'm gonna just keep going, bro. Like, subscribe if you're new, bro. Like I said, I don't care if you like, I don't care if you comment. But I do appreciate if you hit the sub button. And I'm out, bro.